So we're in here in Byron Bay at Twisted Sister for breakfast today. We've just been to the farmers market, and Cassie brought up a really interesting point about acidity of foods.
So, I've always had the impression that the Italian food was full of tomato, tomato sauce on your spaghetti, right? That's what they have. Everything they have is tomato sauce on their brekkie. Turns out, when we went to Italy and we spent quite a bit of time there, that it's tomato very much at all. But they do have the need for that slight acidity, which is why we use tomatoes in so many of our foods, including, as Ian pointed out, tomato sauce. And you know
Which is full of sugar.
Which is full of sugar,
Which hooks the kids on tomato sauce.
But it does give the acidity that you're looking for. The palate looks for sweet, acidity, and salty. The palate looks for that.
But salt is one of your primary alkalizers.
Correct. Anyway, so what the Italians do, they use lemon. Or lime, but lemon, I think. Lemon, yeah, because lemon's what they grow.
Every meal.
They always have some lemon there provided for your meal to give the acidity. Not tomato, but lemon. And it's really interesting because in Australia, we just go with the tomato. And I think, everybody thinks that's what Italians do and therefore should eat lots of tomatoes. Actually, eating a lot of tomatoes is not a good idea, so the Italians are quite right, because tomatoes are actually a nightshade family vegetable. And as such, they actually can cause quite a reaction in the body. Small amounts fine. Don't eat a lot of them. We don't do well on them.
Yeah, and the Chinese also are always striving for that balance in the foods, and you can look at, you can say it's for this and for that reason, but if you look at the very basic form, it is this mix of acidity and alkalinity. And when I began cooking, not that I'm a great cook, I was always kind of interested in the fact that many recipes will say add sugar and add salt. Well, if you're adding opposites, why would you add either? Right? That's what I thought at the start, and now I see more that, okay, you've got your food, which is the base, then you've got your requirement for some acidity in the form of sugar, and then you've got your requirement for some alkalinity in the form of salt.
Well, yeah, and it's just a balance. It's getting the balance right, and sometimes, people get far too sweet, but then they get used to it. But there is a certain balance. The Chinese talk about it quite a lot when they were doing their very, very high cooking kind of skills before the communists came along and kind of destroyed that.
And there's a anthropological bent to this, in that if you look at the age of the cultures, you've got the Chinese are the very oldest, you've got the Italians are old, you've got the Australians which aren't old at all, and there is a certain maturity. It's my feeling that with things like this, you've got a theory or a philosophy which has evolved in a culture, but you look at the purpose of that theory or philosophy. What's behind it all? Why do antelopes trek across the Serengeti in September?
I don't know, Ian, but you better hurry up because my coffee's getting cold.
There's something behind it, and the something behind it is a basic biological need for a balance of acid and alkalinity all the time.
Oh, and bitter. I forgot about the bitter.
That's
right. The bitter is actually part of the flavour as well.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So you've got your bitter, you've got your sweet, and only when you get
I got my bitter.
And look here, we were given bread with our breakfast. We did not eat it. We're good little alkalizers. Well, guys, we haven't been doing that much because we've been so busy, but it's lovely to talk to you again.
Okay.
Love your feedback. See ya.